Okay, we are live. Okay, I'm going to give people a couple minutes to gather up, but we should be live. Can everybody hear me? All right, cool. How's it going, everybody? So, we got some big news this morning, so I decided to mix it up a little bit and stream during the lunch hour. I'm taking a little bit of a lunch here. Thought I'd go ahead and go live. So, usually don't do this, and don't get used to it, but it's lunch. I got some work done earlier today, so I figured I'd jump on for a little bit. So, yeah. All right, we got 27 people in here right now. Chat box, there we go. Not according to my research, chaotic. Captain Rex, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? What? We just signed Tyler Lockett to a $70 million extension and you're spamming me about AU? No one cares, dude. Come on. Yes, Chandy. Okay. So let's go ahead and get underway here. What's going on, everybody? Happy to see so many people coming out during lunch. I know a lot of people are at work. That's why I tried to schedule it for exactly 12. Kyle, I don't think Lynch is a pass rusher. I looked his stats up. He was like, he only gets a couple sacks a season, as near as I can tell. So anyway, today we extended Tyler Lockett, who was in the last year of a deal that would have counted almost 14 million against the cap. We extended him 4 years and $69.2 million. So there's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to dissect. And I had gone on record saying that I thought we were either going to trade Tyler Lockett or we would just let him play out the last year of his deal and then go somewhere else. And clearly that is not what has happened. Well, the thing is, guys, the Aaron Lynch thing, we need a Sam linebacker. We need somebody who can set the edge and get to the QB a little bit. That's why I'm starting to think that maybe Barton isn't going to work well there. Okay. So anyway, Lockett's going to be a Seahawk for a while. We don't know the contract details yet. I want to stress that. We do not know the contract details yet. So I cannot dive into the specifics of that. I can make some very reasonable assumptions, but I cannot yet make any claims about exactly how much money we saved. All right, we got ourselves a new sub. Welcome to this team. Nick Chambers, 1977. All right. So after thinking about this, and after I got this news, I made my video, and then I went to go work out, and then I went to shower. So I've had some time to think about this contract, think about this extension, and I think I think that after really digesting this, I think the pros outweigh the cons, but I did separate things into a little pros versus cons list. So let's dive into it a little bit. So I'm going to go through this list and then I'm going to open things up for comment. And then we'll discuss this until time runs out, basically. So I'm going to start with a pro, then I'm going to go to a con, and then we're going to go back and forth until we're done. So, is everybody ready? All right. So, pro. We now have extra 2021 cap space, which means another signing is likely coming. I think that the reason why you would extend Lockett now, or at least a big reason why you would do that, is so you can get another player under the 2021 cap. So if you felt like this team needed one more piece, this signing makes it much easier to get that other piece. Now, I have a list of players to my left on screen that I think the Seahawks might target. If you want to know who I think we're going to get, I think we're going to get Quinton Dunbar. That is my guess right now. If I had to take one guess, it would be Dunbar, but it could be just about anybody on screen, I think. So I think this extension might mean that we're going to add Dunbar to the defense. This extension should pay for Dunbar's 2021 cap hit easily. And we don't know exactly how much money we're saving, but we do know we saved money. There's just no way we didn't. If we didn't, then we are the dumbest team in the league. And we should all go root for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, that's pro one. Con one. My first con is there are thin margins for Lockett to continue to be a top player in the NFL. These last 2 years, I see a lot of plays where Lockett is either not getting open or barely getting open. And then he makes a lot of miracle catches with dudes draped all over him, where the ball just barely gets fit in, and he does manage to and he manages to make a miracle catch, but he's not open and he's not blowing anybody off the field. So if he loses not even half a step, not even a quarter of a step, I'm talking a tenth of a step, 1/10 of a step, he's in trouble. Because that tiny little bit of space he creates to make those miracle catches, if that tiny bit of space goes away, and it's so easy for that to go away, he's not going to be a very effective NFL player anymore, and he's going to be dependent entirely on things like scheme. And fortunately, we do have a new offensive coordinator who should be pretty good at that, but I am not seeing a lot of reason to believe that he's going to continue to be an elite player for the next several years. So that's my first con. Now, Alex, if that was true, then I don't think he would have been so pitiful in yards after the catch. Just my read on that statement off the top of my head. All right. Moving on. Pro number 2. Commitment to Russell Wilson for 2021. This extension should kill any talk of trading Russell Wilson. Probably ever, but especially right now. We would not be making a long-term commitment to a number 2 receiver unless we knew we had a QB in place. That would be beyond idiotic. So, if you're like me and you're thinking about this logically and you realize there is no trading Wilson unless you just hate winning and hate success and just want to suck for a long time, then this is a positive thing because it kills whatever is left of the Wilson trade talks. And I think that's a good thing for now. I think most people will agree. Some people won't. That's fine. But to me, talking about trading Wilson at this point was it just a complete waste of time and quickly outs itself as being an idiotic solution to anything. Okay. That's pro number 2. So con number 2. My second con, questionable fit in the Shane Waldron offense. And this is subjective, but I don't think Lockett is the kind of receiver that Shane Waldron likes. I've done some research on this. It seems to me that Shane Waldron likes 3 things in his receivers. He wants receivers who are big, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds or more. He wants receivers who are good at yards after the catch. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp were among the league leaders in yards after the catch the last 2 years. And number 3, he likes receivers who can run jet sweeps. Lockett is not any of those things. So I'm concerned about his fit. I will say this. The only way this extension makes any logical sense would be if we went to Waldron, asked him about Lockett, and then he gave a positive answer. So that's kind of a good thing in a way. So this is a con that can turn into a pro very easily. But I think that you can make a clear argument that Lockett is not the kind of receiver that Waldron's had a lot of success with in his past. So I'm a little concerned about that. So that's con number 2. Well, Caleb, they think it's going to work. I will grant you that. That has to be true. Will it work? That I don't know. Okay. Pro number 3. Pro number 3. Imminent cap explosion will make deal look a lot better. The cap is about to go way up in the next few years. It's going to go way up next year. It's going to go up even more the next year. This deal, which looks really fat right now, is not going to look fat in a couple years. That's just a fact. So that's good news. We don't have to worry about this deal being one of the top for a wide receiver in the NFL. Once the cap goes up, this deal is not going to look nearly as bad as it does. It's going to look a lot like Wilson's first extension, where when he signed it, it was big, but then Brock Osweiler got almost the same contract and was like, oh, well, that deal's not that big. Okay. Okay. So, con number 3. The opportunity for us to get younger and cheaper at wide receiver 2 is now out the door. I thought that moving on from Lockett and getting a rookie in here was a great way for us to save a lot of money and get a player who was a lot younger at a key position. Now, that's not going to happen. Lockett's going to be a Seahawk for at least probably, I'd say, 3 years. So, I like to look for opportunities to get players who are younger and cheaper at certain positions because you do know that you're going to have to be a little cheaper and younger at certain positions. So this was an opportunity to get younger and cheaper at one position, and now that opportunity is gone. Pro number 4. Pro number 4. Signing Lockett to this extension means This team is committing to be pass first going forward. You cannot give DK the $25 million a year he's going to get next year, and Lockett the $17 million a year he's going to get going forward, and not pass the ball a lot. With this commitment to the wide receiver position, we should become one of the most pass happy teams in the NFL. So if you're like me and you believe that passing is the key to success in the NFL, and that ultimately your success as a team and your ability to win a Super Bowl comes down to, can your passing game make plays when you need it the most? I think that's a very big positive thing. All right. That's pro number 4. Con number 4, and this is a potential con. We don't know about this one yet. Sacrifice is now necessary in 2022. Giving Lockett this money means we're going to have to lose something else in 2022. And I don't know what that's going to be. It might be Dunlap. It might be Diggs. But this is an additional probably $15 to $20 million against the cap in 2022 that we did not have before. What are we giving up to gain that? Are we giving up, like I said, Diggs, Dunlap? We're probably already losing Wagner, which I'm totally fine with. But beyond that, what else? Because look, Lockett's $17 million a year, Metcalf's going to be probably $25 million a year, Wilson's $35 million a year, Jamal Adams is going to be $18 million a year. We are paying a ton of money to our top end players. That leaves very little room for anything else. But I want to stress this, that is a potential con. It is possible that Schneider could work his magic on the cap next year and make it so we don't lose anybody of real value. According to my Streamlabs, I filtered out the eating noise. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. I thought you guys couldn't hear that. Okay. And pro number 5. And this is the final one. Pro number 5. And this is another potential pro. There should be some void years in this contract. It is very unlikely we actually extended him 4 full years. Very likely that we're looking at a couple of void years at the end of that deal. So this is probably just a 3-year deal total. Yes, Caleb, he will almost certainly retire, I think. Oh, I'm getting some, let's see here. Brady Henderson says that Lockett's cap number in 2021 should be about $7 million, meaning that we save about $8 million doing this. Okay, so after listing out the pros and cons, after going over everything that this deal entails, I'm going to say this. I think the pros outweigh the cons. I think the pros outweigh the cons, but we need a little bit more time to figure things out, to be sure. Okay. So, that's really all I have. I'm going to go ahead and open up to the floor now. We have 120 people in here. I want to thank everybody for coming out this lunch hour to spend a little bit of time talking about the Lockett extension. Please like the stream if you haven't yet. Subscribe if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. And click the join button down below to become a member to support the channel even more. Now remember, guys, the cap hit being smaller this year means the cap hit in future years will be bigger. But if the cap goes way up, we'll be okay. Alex, I will do that in a video later today when we get exact numbers. But later today, I will be making a video where I go over exactly that, what you're saying. I'm probably going to make a video where I summarize these Lockett things. But yeah, I'm going to do that later today unless we don't get concrete confirmation on that. But I'm waiting for the exact digits. Okay. So go ahead, leave your comments. I'm going to address as many as I can. I will say this, we have a lot of people in here. I'm not going to be able to answer all comments. Super chatted comments are guaranteed to be read and responded to. Member comments are more likely to be read and responded to. So we're going to do our best. That's the best I can do. And we're going to go until I have to leave, basically. If the cap hit is 15 million in 2022, that won't be the worst. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. The cap is going to go up. It kind of has to. I think you make a great point about this extension points to a future of a pass-centric offense. Yeah, it has to. How can you get all of these high-priced receivers, and I'm even going to include Everett in there a little bit because $6 million for a tight end is decent? Then yeah, we have to commit to a pass-happy offense. Money's Huddle, no, I'm off Twitter. Who's more important to this team, Quandre or Lockett? I think Quandre. As of right now, it's Lockett, but I'm concerned about how Lockett is going to age. So I think in the future it will probably be Quandre. But right now it's Lockett. Seahawks Gaming, Everett does have a void year, but he's only going to be here for 1 year. I think we're going to sign Dunbar, guys. That would be my guess. Yeah, Money Huddle, we're going to be doing it Among Us at some point. I don't know when. It's hard to get a game together still. Yes, Bow. I think we will sign somebody else. My current guess is Dunbar, but it could be AB, could be Ryder, could be Tate. Shade. There is news everywhere about the Lockett contract. So, in the last 2 days, the Seahawks have freed up 13.5 million in cap space between Gabe Jackson and Tyler Lockett. No, King Sosa. I think we might still get AB. I think that's still on the table. Dunbar has been very good in the past, guys. He had a bad year last year, but he was playing hurt. Don't sleep on Dunbar. Klasda, I think it's going to be very, very hard to extend Diggs now because of this extension. We might not have the money for Diggs. Money's Huddle, Lockett deserves this money. 100% he does. I'm not sure if we are the team that should have given him. Like, KJ deserves to get paid, but I don't want him to get paid by us. Does that make sense? Yeah, you week 2K. I have been spending the last 2 days scouting rookie receivers. There are a lot of guys that I like in this draft. A lot of guys that I like in this draft, but yeah, that's the way I would go. And don't completely count out Freddie Swain. How much would you pay for KJ if we would resign him? The veteran minimum. We just look. I like KJ, but we need to move forward, not backwards. No moving backwards. Cody Smith, I think we're going to be utilizing more of a outside running scheme. Oh, Daniel, we'll have money for Jamal Adams. What this means is that we might not have money for, Quandre Diggs. Might not have money for, God, I don't know, frickin' DJ Reed. Yeah, Dimitri, you're absolutely right. He should not have been on the field against Buffalo. That wasn't his fault. That was Carroll's dumbass fault. That's true, you week 2K. I'd rather pay Lockett than KJ. If we get Dunbar, who starts at corner, I would probably start Dunbar and Witherspoon, but I could see it going many different directions. It's Patagucci. No, I don't think so. Shell is good. A rookie is not going to be better than Shell from day one. It's very, very unlikely. Reed could be the nickel. It could be Amadi. Reed could be first off the bench. I don't know. Reed played well last year, but I'm telling you, that is not the kind of cornerback that Carroll likes in his defense. Would we be able to re-sign Gerald Everett? Maybe not. That might be another thing we lose because of this. So, by the way, don't be surprised if we draft a receiver and a tight end in this draft, because we have our top 2 tight ends are free agents next year. So if Brevin Jordan is still there at number 56, don't be shocked. I'm going to put that out there right now. Don't be shocked if we draft Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan's just one example. There's also, what's his name, Tommy Tremble. But if he's there, I would not hate drafting him because we're going to need tight ends soon. Well, we need good backups, Kyle, because we know Dunbar gets hurt all the time. How much is Disley making? Pennies. I'm expecting a Jamal Adams extension, Daniel. The only thing that could stop it, in my opinion, would be Jamal saying, I don't want one, because I want to make maximum money, and I'll make more money if I wait a year to sign. Probably not, Kyle. I don't think DJ Reed has value. You know, I'm not promoting this. I don't like this. But this opens up the possibility of not restructuring Wilson. So that way you could have an easier time trading him if he doesn't show out this year. I think we will still have to restructure Wilson, but this makes it slightly more possible we don't have to. So that's something to think about. If we don't get Dunbar, then I think we might get AB, we might get Ryder, we might get Sam linebacker to replace Bruce Irvin. I'm not a big fan of getting a veteran corner, but I just feel like we're going to get Dunbar, guys. I just feel like we're going to get Quentin Dunbar for some reason. But I really feel like we're going to do something. All right, guys, we've been streaming for half an hour, so I want to say we have 150 people in here right now. Thank you to everybody who came out today during this lunch hour to talk Seahawks. Please like the stream if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. Click the join button down below to become a member for $2 or $5 a month to support the channel even more and gain access to perks. And donations via Super Chat or PayPal are always appreciated. I kind of do, Ethan. I mean, restructuring is not something that teams always make public. Yeah, I know, Money's Huddle. It's been crazy lately. I think AB is a possibility. The thing with AB is there are not very many teams that seem interested in him. So if we're the only team that's willing to give him any kind of decent money, then process of elimination kind of dictates that we're going to get him. I don't think he's going to sit out the season, and if we can offer more than Tampa Bay, maybe he'll bite on that. I don't know. Oh, it's Hoof. He definitely will, and he deserves it, and I think we'll give it to him. I think he deserves that kind of money, and I think we will give it to him. I have no problem with that. The problem is going to come from we're going to lose guys like Diggs. We're going to lose guys like Rasheem Green and Carlos Dunlap. We might lose somebody like a DJ Reed. We might lose, like, let's say Trey Flowers has a good year this year. Tumbo, I took some time to think about it. I think the pros outweigh the cons on this move, Tumbo. That's my evaluation. The pros outweigh the cons. There are cons, but I think I like it more than I dislike it. It's close, though. Is KJ a top 10 linebacker? No. I mean, if we trade Russell, well, okay, Daniel, but why would you bother having Metcalf and Lockett if you don't have a quarterback? Like, having the best receivers in the league is kind of a waste if your QB is Sam Darnold or something, some trash like that. I don't think it's a good idea to commit to the best receivers in football and then not have anybody who can get them a QB, get them the ball, excuse me. So that seems kind of a waste. DK does not drop that much more than other elite wide receivers. You guys, maybe some of you guys are too young to remember T.O. That dude was the best receiver in the league many, many times, and he dropped more passes than DK ever had. Okay, we can live with the occasional drop, guys. These players are not perfect as much as we want them to be sometimes. That they're just not perfect. Sorry. My final thoughts on KJ is I don't really want him back. I like him. I wish the best for him, but we need to move on. We need to move on from KJ. I feel very strongly about this. Yeah, Brent, his catch percentage is going to be low because he has such a high yard per catch, yard per reception. Oh yeah, I think DK is getting locked up no matter what. Lockett's cap hit dropped to 7 million confirmed. I haven't seen it confirm yet. I've seen Brady Henderson estimate it. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so according to some things I'm seeing, this new deal replaces his old deal. What happened to Blythe? Blythe signed with the Chiefs. Yeah, we got enough three receiver. Well, we need to get better at receiver, guys, okay? We need to get better at receiver either way. DK and Lockett are fine, but then you have Swain, who did okay as a rookie, but we don't know. And then behind Swain, what do you have? You have Penny Hart, who is a special teamer. And then you have Aaron Fuller, who hasn't done anything in the NFL yet, although I like him. And then you have John Ursua, who has one career catch. We need to get better at wide receiver regardless, guys. I look for us to add another receiver either in free agency or the draft, but we are not done at wide receiver yet, as far as I'm concerned. Freddie Swain might be a good number 3, but even if he is, the number 4 right now is probably Penny Hart. Penny Hart has like what, 2 career catches? I forget. So we're not done at receiver yet. I will say I think I would prefer drafting somebody. I've been scouting guys the last couple days. I'm a big fan of De'Ami Brown. He's starting to really win me over. He would have to be a second round pick probably, but I really like De'Ami Brown. I kind of like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like Nico Collins just because he's a DK Metcalf clone, and I think he can I think that's appealing. There Sage Surratt is at least interesting. Yes, Chandi. Wagner should be gone next offseason 100%. Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard is pretty anonymous, dude. Daz Newsome from UNC, yeah. Elijah Moore. I'm not sure about Elijah Moore. I don't know a ton about him. Wagner should either come back on a much smaller contract next year or he should just be gone. One of the two. Green Earth, can you put ME in timeout? Spamming is not okay. Thank you. I think Aaron Fuller should get get a chance to play a little bit because we are weak at receiver, but I'm not guaranteeing that he's going to be the guy. Yeah, yeah, Metcalf is not that bad, Brent. He does drop some passes, but um, players drop passes sometimes, okay? And Metcalf makes up for it. Yeah, Josh Palmer, I actually think is going to go a little higher than day 3. Aaron Fuller, wide receiver 4, would be okay. Um, Chris Thompson. No, Daniel, I think you're thinking of John Ursua, and I just don't think he has it against NFL starters. Any larger receivers in the draft you like? Yes, and I will be making videos about that in the near future. Do you want to draft another big and physical receiver or someone more in the middle? I'm fine either way. I I I feel like bigger and physical is better because we need outside receivers. You week 2K, Swain is not a good receiver 3 or else he would have outplayed more. He's fourth or fifth receiver tops. Well, remember you week 2K, he was a rookie with no off season. So he can get better. Don't count him out yet. I will admit that last year he was not great. But he was a rookie. He can get better. Cody Thompson, I doubt it. The guy that I like, would Wyatt Davis still be a pick for you to look at? Not anymore, no. The guy I like who's on our practice squad is Aaron Fuller. Hey, Aaron. I don't think so, Aaron. I don't think it messed us up. It may cost us one or two good players. Like, because of this, we may not be able to bring back Diggs. We may not be able to bring back Dunlap next year. But I don't think it messes us up. I don't think that's the right word. Yeah, St. Brown could go pretty high. Yeah, I think Aaron Fuller has a future in the NFL if he gets a chance. What do you think about Quinn Meinerns? He's interesting, Shandy. I'm not sure if he fits our scheme, but he might. Hopefully we get Diggs. Yeah, I feel like Diggs is going to be gone because of this. I feel like Diggs is going to leave because of the Lockett extension. What was the Dunlap contract? We don't know yet, Christopher. We're waiting for confirmation on that. I am keeping my ear to the ground on it, but I have not heard anything meaningful yet. Um, I've been really put off Rondell Moore Seahawks gaming. Rondell Moore is too small and he's too injury prone. The dude has played 7 games over the last 2 years total. Yes, we still need to extend Adams. Lockett 100% deserved to get paid. I don't know if we're the team that should have done it, but he deserved to get paid one way or the other. I think I'd rather have AB than Tate. Uh-huh. Henderson just tweeted. Uh, okay, I'm going to get that guy out of here. I just checked Brady Henderson's Twitter. He's capping. Okay, Brady Henderson did just tweet something, however. One more note on Lockett's extension for now. I'm told there are no void years. So it's a true 4 year extension that's tacked onto his one remaining year, meaning he's under contract through 2025. Okay, I like this contract slightly less now, but um still still not terrible. I don't hate it still. I like it less than I did before though. I will say that. So, yeah, I don't think Lockett has 5 good years left in the NFL. I don't know if he has 3 or 4. I just see him starting to slow down. You know, you week 2K, I've done a lot of scouting of the wide receivers in this draft. Those names did not cross my desk at any point. So I have to ask, are those guys expected to go undrafted? Because I didn't see those guys anywhere. He has like 3 good years left. Well, 3 good years left would be okay because after 3 years or 4 years, you can cut him and probably pay him very little. So that's fine. But I would have liked this better if we had void years. I would have liked this better if there was some way to get out earlier. So it's still fine, but I like it a little bit less now. I would have preferred to have a couple of void years. Penguin, no. Lockett is going to have to play very well to earn that money. He cannot just be a mentor. Well, Paul Baldwin retired young too. Baldwin didn't even get to play 10 years before he retired. That's not a good comparison at all. Would you give Adams a 5-year deal? Yeah, I would. I don't know if you have to, but I would be willing to. Um, I'll tell you this. The last time a Shane Waldron offense had a receiver in it that was like Lockett like, it was 2 years ago. Um, Brandon Cooks, and Brandon Cooks didn't do anything for the Rams in 2019. He was kind of useless. So if Lockett goes out there in 2021 and puts up 2019 Brandon Cooks numbers, that's barf. Barf, barf, barf. Ugh. It's gross just thinking about it. So I really hope that we find a way to use Lockett effectively because I don't see him being good at the things that Shane Waldron seems to really value. Yeah, I saw the Henderson tweeting in Mills. That's fine, but somebody was in here saying DK Metcalf was in a car accident, and well, we do with those people what we do. Okay, okay. I'm gonna stream for about another 12 minutes, 12 more minutes, and then I got to get back to work. But I wanted to discuss all this stuff and really dive into the details. So I think the final conclusion I have to reach on this signing is that there's a lot of positives and a lot of negatives, and I think the positives outweigh the negatives, but it's close. It's very close. Are we mostly just looking for size? I think yard after the catch is more important than size, but it seems to me that we need an outside receiver. Think Lockett will transition to the three receiver and possibly a downfield threat like Cooks, who was decent when he was healthy. Also, Russ versus Goff. That's true. Well, the last couple years, Lockett has done most of his work from the slot. So I want another receiver who can play on the outside. Did you miss KJ on your target list? I don't take KJ seriously as a target, so no. Klasda, the Cowboys are not nearly stupid enough to do that. Are you serious? Klasda, you have to be kidding me, right? Like the Cowboys would not trade 10 sixth round picks and 10 Trey Flowers for one Michael Gallup. How much will Diggs cost? I don't know, but he just made the Pro Bowl. How much will KJ cost? I'm thinking around 6 to 7 million a year. Yeah, Caleb, I would like to give Aaron Fuller a shot as well, but he's probably going to be a slot receiver in the NFL. We need somebody who can play on the outside. We need somebody who can play on the outside so DK and X can be our outside receivers, and then Lockett can play in the slot, because I think Lockett being in the slot is a positive thing. Can Swain do it? I don't know. I don't think Fuller can do it. So we need somebody who can play on the outside. Evo Stevo, I would rather sign Brown, but I would rather draft somebody, honestly. Is Antonio Brown outside wide receiver? He can play outside. Why wouldn't you want KJ for 6 or 7 million? We have no depth there. Imagine if Bobby or Brooksy goes down. Yeah, we need to sign somebody, but we can save a lot of money signing somebody for 2 million instead of 6 or 7 million. And also, remember, it would be a longer term deal. Slot receiver in this offense have a lot of blocking responsibility, and I don't think Lockett is the guy for that. Yeah, that's true. Empower, I hate to do this, but do you like, are you, I'm looking at Twitter right now. I'm not seeing anything. I'm looking at Twitter. I'm not seeing a single tweet about DK Metcalf getting in a car accident. So, I don't know if you want me to ban you, Empower, but knock it off unless you can source it, because I don't see anything. Oh, Jesus. God damn it. Yeah, Ryan Neal might be a fun sleeper. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not sleeping on Cody Barton. I'm not sleeping on Cody Barton at all. But I don't think he's going to be a good Sam. I don't think that's a good fit for him. No Ricky, no defensive lineman. Yeah. AB is too small for this offense. I never really saw AB as being particularly small. Yeah, God. How do you feel about Gabe Jackson and the extension? I think it's great. I think it's great. Awesome. Um, there are a lot of good receivers in this draft, and I'm going to make videos about that soon. But we can get a capable receiver in this draft, I think, who can produce as a rookie. That doesn't mean we shouldn't consider getting AB or Tate, but I don't think we need to. Is Sherm coming back? I very much doubt it. Yeah, I saw that big dog. Is there a chance we can sign KJ and AB? We can. I don't think we will. Yeah, I'm open to giving Freddie Swain a chance, Daniel. But the thing is, even if Freddie Swain is good, we have no depth. Behind Freddie Swain, we have Penny Hart. And then behind Penny Hart, we have Ursua and Fuller. We have nothing back there. We have like 3 career catches between those 3 guys. Does AB even want to play in Seattle? That's hard to know. Okay, 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to cut out of here. Do you want to extend D Brown? No, no, no. I want him to retire after this season. Do you like Dunbar? I do. I think he's good. I think you're talking about Jazz, Ferguson, Jake Guerrero. Wide receivers in this scheme have to block. Yeah, that's another thing about Lockett. Like, that's another thing that I don't know if he fits well in. We should have kept David Moore. Maybe. I don't mind him going, but I wouldn't have minded keeping him. I'm fine either way. If we draft a linebacker in the second, I'm not gonna be happy. That's not good. Yeah, Tate can block. As far as small receivers go, Tate can block. Tate is actually one of the better blocking receivers in the league, I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously you would never do this unless Waldron said, I think I can use Lockett, but I cannot help but wonder how is Lockett going to fit into this offense? And I don't know if I like the answers to that. I just I have questions, but obviously you have to just give Waldron a chance to prove that he knows how to use him. Cuttable after 2 to 3 seasons. Yeah, Daniel, that's very true. I am already starting to notice slippage with him though, which I don't love, but you're right. You're right. He is cuttable in a couple of in 2 to 3 years. And I think that's probably going to be good enough for me to consider this to be a positive, but I would say that there are plenty of negatives here that have to be taken into consideration, but better more goods than bads. So watch the wires today, guys. Watch the wires because I think we're gonna go get somebody this 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 off season. Between now and the draft, I think we're gonna get one more guy. Lockett also may be the motion receiver and use that to scheme him open. Yeah, that would be very nice, you week 2K. If we could utilize him in a way, because I think he can be a great possession receiver. And if you get him in the right situations, maybe he can be good in yards in yak. So yeah, a Roman, I would probably get Austin Ryder, but it's tough. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me check something real quick. Aaron Fuller hasn't had more than 3 sacks in a season in 5 years. The last time he had a lot of sacks was 2015. I don't think he's a pass rusher like you guys are saying. Granted, he's a very small time player nowadays, but I just want a linebacker who knows how to set the edge. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We had a good hour discussion on this. I want to thank everybody for coming out, but I am going to go ahead and call it a stream. I got to get back to work. A video should be coming later today where I break down the specifics of this Lockett thing and I kind of summarize everything. But I have to say that after having some time to think about this, I think the pros outweigh the cons. But there are cons, and it would be disingenuous of me to ignore them just because I think there are more pros. All right. Peace out, go Hawks. See you guys tonight in stream. See you guys later today when I post a video. Yeah. See y'all later.